You ever dreamed about being a action movie star?
Like a space cowboy.
Is that an action movie?
No. But I did growing up. I did want to be a stuntman because of the TV show The Fall Guy.
Oh, really?
No joke. That's what I wanted to be. If you had asked me, it was either breakdancing or I wanted to be a stuntman because I thought that was easy to do.
You couldn't figure out a way to incorporate both of those in the same thing?
When I ride my bike, I did. I crashed the hell out of that bike, dude.
Oh, I was like, how did that?
Because
That's not break dancing. That's like break boning.
Exactly. Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the closest I got to it, is wanting to be an actual stuntman.
Interesting. Why did you want to be a stuntman?
I thought it was cool and I thought it was tough. Like, remember back when everything was just like, I want to jump that, or, you know, like the idea of like jumping a truck across a ravine or something, or, you know, jumping through fire. Appeal to you when you're like,
or jumping in a truck through fire across a ravine.
Yes. All good.
Very evil Knievel of you.
Yeah. All cool.
Super Dave Osborne.
Totally Super Dave Osborne. Yes.
Probably because it would end up more like that, if we're being honest. I'd say Hot Rod, but I know that you don't.
Do you remember Mr. Bill?
I do. It was like one of those claymation type things, right? But he had like a weird scream to him.
Yeah, no. And they'd always, and they would do the thing and he'd get hurt and get squished. But he was like a stuntman too.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. I wonder what gets people into wanting to be stuntmen so much. But I think we're going to get around to that.
Okay.
Because I think stunt is going to be our word this week.
Ooh. Are you going to do any stunts in this episode?
I will light myself on fire.
Okay.
And then jump through a just normal hoop. Because I like to do things backwards sometimes.
Can you?
But that hoop will be placed on top of a school bus.
Right on. Awesome. I'm just going to podcast on my head.
Interesting.
As opposed to when I usually podcast on my head. So all the ideas come down because of gravity right into my brain.
Well, hopefully that works this time then.
Wrong head.
Ooh. Welcome to Hang Out with Your Slang Out.
I'm Dan.
I'm Matt. It's time to start stunting.
Ooh, ouch. I already hurt myself.
No surprises.
You forget things a lot.
I do forget things a lot.
You get too much knowledge taking up that cranium.
You know, everything that goes in, something else has to come out.
Yep. Something else has to die when some new knowledge is born. Which is sad because you have a lot of knowledge that's not needed in that brain of yours.
Yeah.
But that's why I like talking to you.
Sure.
Okay, so stunt.
Yeah, stunt. So,
my whole childhood was a stunt.
Yeah, well, your adulthood hasn't changed a whole lot.
Well, I mean, seriously, the actual word stunt from what it mean, like you like, I guess doing an action scene where there'd be some kind of danger, whether you're like jumping your BMX or you're
but get to the root of it. Why'd you do it?
Because it was fun. Adrenaline, dumb, all the above.
Were people watching when you did these stunts?
Actually, sometimes yes.
So to me, like that's, and I guess, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty of the definition, that's what it comes down to, is it's a desire to show off, right? Like if you're stunting, you're showing off.
Like if you have a podcast.
Yeah, I put that on my business card.
I'm stunting.
No, but if you're stunting, you're showing off. And I think that's ultimately like those types, the evil Knievels, I don't really want to include Super Dave because it was comedy, but same difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think that being that kind of stuntman was about showing off. Like there's obviously the stuntman in movies where you're just stepping in for somebody that doesn't want to break their pretty face. But a true stuntman that does stuntmans just for the stunt and not for the paycheck.
Yeah.
They like being in front of people and doing things that those people that they're in front of wouldn't do.
So that would totally, yeah. No fear, my friend.
Oh, I had a lot of those shirts. like a lot. In junior high, I wore only No Fear shirts and San Jose Shark shirts
Really?
for 2 straight years.
No Spuds McKenzie's, huh?
No,
I don't think you're allowed to wear those in school.
no, actually, that came up on the other podcast.
Really?
Yeah, the Business Wars, because I was listening to Anheuser-Busch versus Miller.
That thing was huge. It was a dog on your t-shirt and people lost it.
Lost their minds.
Yep.
Lost their minds. And then it came back around to the frogs.
Oh, I forgot about the frogs. Yeah.
And I don't remember the frogs being banned.
They weren't as big. Yeah, they weren't banned.
They were bigger, but they weren't
You think
banned.
they were bigger?
Like from a sales standpoint, they were bigger.
Okay. Maybe it's because I just remember the culture of Spuds at the time and being in school and what a big deal it was if, oh, he's wearing a Spuds McKenzie shirt. Oh, he's like an outlaw.
What kind of stunt is this?
But yeah, if I take stunt as what the actual action of it, or I guess the original meaning, not technically what it means, what it's being used as now. Yeah, that was me just thinking I could be a stuntman and what a cool job that would be to just explode and jump through windows and not realizing that shit hurts. And I would have done half a stunt and been like, okay, I'm good. I would have quit the first time.
Wasn't stunt also like part of a breakdance move?
Probably.
Like it's when you paused mid move or something like that.
I don't know. I never used to call it that.
What did you used to call it?
Popping and locking.
You called it popping and locking before popping and locking was popping and locking?
Whoa. Stunt as a noun. A stunt means a loose woman. What? Are they? Okay, now we've deep dived down all these words. How many of them they use for that to call women hoes? And I'm like, no joke here. Like, that's just, why does everything have to boil down to that? Is it because of stupid guys?
Yeah, because guys are stupid, and eventually the women find out what they mean, and so then you have to change the word.
Men are dumb.
Yeah, I think it would probably be solved by men just not trying to call women hoes.
Yeah,
that'd probably be the best.
But I didn't mean to get sidetracked there. But I was just looking at one of the definitions that was coming up.
Also, I have never heard that definition for stunt.
Same here. That's why I was just like, and to me, that doesn't make any sense.
But take 2 words that you might say separately that you shouldn't ever say to a woman, and then push those 2 words together while leaving out some letters.
Please, baby. So
Playby.
Peasby. Now, what do you got?
Well, there's stupid, and then the see you next Tuesday word.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to do that.
So no, but I'm wondering, like, is that what that comes from? Like they took those 2 words and morphed them into one shorter word, and that's.
I would like to think someone's not that smart. You're that smart. You're like an evil genius.
Yeah, but I think when we've been going through these slang terms, there's enough that have that. And, you know, if I was smarter, I would remember what the term for that is called. I've heard it a lot on my trivia podcast. It's when you take those 2 words and mush them together.
And by his trivia podcast, he has like 6 other podcasts
that I listen to, not that I host.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 4 others that I host.
You better not be hosting on the down low. On the DL.
I'm a host for sure.
Yeah,
get on the host train.
I never use this word like as what they use it now for stunting and stuff. I don't say that. I don't even know if I've heard. My barometer is like my son for a lot of these words because he's kind of still in it, and I guess technically my niece and nephew. But I don't. Maybe I've heard Tyler say it. I don't remember hearing my son Jaden say stunt. And he may have, and I don't
think it's one of the more popular ones necessarily, but it's one that I've heard used for sure. What other definitions you got in there? That are less
they're all pretty much hitting the to floss or show off. That's why that one that stood out with the calling women hoes.
Probably why you don't hear stunting as much is because of flossing.
Flossing? You think so?
Also, I think it's funny that flossing is showing off considering everybody hates to floss.
Stunt, to flash out, to gloat, or just plain show off. I bet Jaden said that, and I just haven't. That or maybe it's one of the ones that's waning already, so we're not hearing it very much.
I also feel like in the times that I've heard stunting it or to stunt, it's been in like the derogatory way where you would be asking a person why they're doing that, like why they're trying to show off.
Do you ever hear
Whereas-
that? Like, where
Whereas
you
I feel
work?
like flossing is more positive.
So, like, where you work, you'll come into contact with like younger people, right?
Kind of. I mean, we're owned by an old white guy, so
Okay. I just figured you would maybe hear stuff just out in the wild like that, just because of where you work and stuff. He
not.
works at a library.
Yeah.
By the way, it's a topless library, but for men only.
Well, yeah. What other kind of libraries are there?
The pantless.
Is that not a normal library? If
It's
I'm
not a
working,
normal thing. And they only have like 13 books. They're really good books, though. They're classics, but
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know how they make any money.
oh, it's a library. They're not supposed to make money, right?
Oh, that's right. It's paid for by the state. We're good.
Yeah.
Take
It's the
that
only
shirt off.
topless thing that the state pays for.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Since the incident.
But yeah, but where you work, seriously, like, you ever hear? I would figure you would hear other words too.
You know,
but-
I probably have heard it more or had heard it more in past jobs. Like Sorso, it might have come up at some point because like somebody might be stunting to get somebody's attention in Scottsdale.
and that's you'd have young crowds at that one.
Could be, yeah. I mean, they weren't old. Hey, you know, both of the last two places I've worked have takes all kinds. It's been from, you know,
Well, Sources was also catering to a higher class of. You had to be,
you had to really be stunting.
yeah, like people that really have money to drop.
You might have thought you were showing off, but brother, you were not showing off.
No, the brewery is. I love the little brewery you're working at now, but it's not the same. Not that you don't have higher class people coming in as well, but I mean, it's totally night and day.
Yeah, at the brewery, stunting is, you know, just having pants with no holes in it.
Dang, check. I got that down. I mean, I'm stunting every time I come in there.
Every time.
Awesome. That should be good for a free meal or something, right?
You would think.
Yeah, especially since I know the guy
You'd be wrong.
that works there.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy who took all my stickers down.
I didn't take all your stickers down. I threw away all those napkin dispensers. Completely different.
But you didn't mention anything like this because I just sent you something the other day that organically someone had one of our stickers showed up in my son's Snapchat feed from a acquaintance. It's a guy he friended 2 years ago at college. Literally is talking to the guy maybe twice in that time, like no more than like hello, because you saw him at school. I don't know why, how, like, you know, like younger people, they always tend to, you know, give their
But how did
snaps.
he get the sticker?
He didn't get it. He just walked out somewhere, posted it, because that's the thing. Like on Snapchat, like people when they see stuff, they'll take a picture and it's on Snapchat for like whatever for the 24 hours. He just happened to walk out of Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was on the pole outside of that. And
So you would put it there.
yeah,
All right.
But organically, it just showed up.
That's
in
not
his feed.
organic if you put it there.
Well, no. The fact that it showed up in my son's feed from, he's technically not a stranger, but pretty close. But it got shared to everybody as like, what the heck is this thing? And it's a clear enough picture that the code, I think, still worked if you actually were to scan his picture.
Right. But you would need somebody else's phone to scan that code.
Yeah. Either way, I thought it was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And, you know, I don't know if that guy's listening. If he is, thank you. If he is, he's also one of like 50 people doing so.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, that's good to know. We're up around 50. We actually, on this most recent episode that has been released, it actually has already surpassed the previous episode, which was impressive.
Oh, that's right. I think this was a special episode, though, right?
It sure is special.
All right. Do you do your own stunts?
Sadly, yes. If I could afford to pay somebody to do my stunts, I would. Like every time somebody says, hey, let's go on this amusement park ride, I wish I could put somebody in my place.
Gotcha.
Because I am terrified of a lot of things. And a lot of things that I would probably like to do. So it'd be very handy to me to have a stuntman. But I don't know if John Travolta is still able to be hired. So
You'd want him?
I just think he looks enough like me.
I was going to say Nick Cage. You guys just look exactly like each other.
That's a funny story. So I used to refer to myself as the face-off baby.
Really?
Yeah, because if John Travolta and Nick Cage had a baby, I'm pretty sure it would look like me.
Really?
Especially beardless.
I
It's
say
hard to see
beardless.
now,
Beardless.
but-
You with the beard? No. You got a whole. Why can't I think of his name? Yeah, brain fart. You got a whole.
Kurt Russell.
No, from The Office.
I just thought we were forgetting the same name in
Yeah,
two
I
separate
should've.
episodes.
No, you look like Kurt Russell. I wouldn't be able to work in here. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm in love with my co-host. Kurt Russell's the man. It's okay. It's not gay if it's Kurt Russell.
It's true.
Yeah.
From The Office?
Yeah. What's his name? John.
Krasinski?
Yes.
Is it just because we both have very big noses?
The beard and the nose, like how he looks now, like if you were taller and fitter
But just as Polish.
on the nose. Yeah. No, you just gave me that vibe. And I think you guys kind of share that.
For us, a lot of things are on the nose because, big ass nose.
Yours isn't that big. But I think you guys just share like a sense of humor. You have the kind of the same quick wit vibe. So I think it's more of that. And then just you throw the beard.
You're right. I would be friends with a lot of famous people.
Yeah. Well, you think you would.
Well,
All the famous people you talk about, you hate. So all the ones you've met. So
I don't. When did I?
every story about a famous person, you telling me how
I
much
said
you
Josh
hate them.
Groban was nice
Everybody says that though. He's probably the Antichrist.
because he's so nice.
Oh yeah,
tricking
he's
us all.
perfect. He's perfect. Have you heard one bad thing about him?
No, how could you? He's an angel,
Yep. There you go.
but apparently the archangel.
Anti-Groban.
I bet you he throws away my business card after this episode.
You think so?
I bet you he's one of our 50 listeners.
You think
and
he
we just
kept it
ruined
this whole time?
Probably.
Just waiting. Why hasn't he walked through those doors then?
Josh Groban does not walk through doors. He does not simply walk.
Yes. Sachets.
No, he floats.
Glides. No. All your stories, they're like stuntman stories because you're just it's a lot of the star stories from you are like painful.
No, I've just met a lot of really douchey famous people, but I've met some ones that aren't so bad too.
Met anybody that stands out as like that guy's awesome or that lady's awesome?
This is worrisome.
So I have one.
Go ahead.
Now this guy came out, could not stand him. Douche canoe. Douche canoe decided to start a band, even a bigger douche canoe. Then his music got kind of good, stopped acting a little bit, got into his music, found out some of his background.
If this ends with Fred Durst being cool, I'm going to lose my mind.
It's not possible. End up going to show, I think it was Halloween Havoc or something like that, Vegas, and got to watch 30 Seconds to Mars with Jared Leto, and we met him after the
I
show.
think it's Leto.
I thought it was Leto too, but they pronounce it Leto now. Leto, tomato.
Can I get a Leto Cola?
And he was like an angel. He was like a baby snowbird angel. He was amazing. And then now he's back to out of his mind douchey craziness. So,
But you thought that when he also wasn't a douche, so maybe he's not currently a douche either.
the way he's carried himself ever since that, like it's like the next album, things change, and then
Wait, why did I have to think that hard?
I don't know.
Jesse Valenzuela is the nicest person I've ever met, and he's famous.
Oh yeah. Well, but you'd have to explain who that is. I can say Jared Leto or Leto, or
And all of our fangirls would understand who you were talking about.
some fanboys.
I'm
He's a pretty man.
Yeah. It's not
And dude,
that-
his eyes, like when they make contact, I'm like, holy crap, I'm in a cult. I'll do whatever you say. Tell me what to do.
another cult, I think is what you meant to say.
Yeah. No, I am part of that.
Listen, I get what you're saying, and I know Jared Leto by name is probably more famous than Jesse Valenzuela, but I don't think as many people know Jared Leto as you think know Jared Leto.
Everybody knows Jared Leto. Got an Oscar. He was Morbius, for Christ's sakes, the greatest. No, I can't even finish that sentence. The movie was horrible.
But he was also the joke. No, he wasn't good at that either. But he was in Fight Club.
Yeah, he was in Fight Club. He got an Oscar for, I didn't even watch the movie though. It's a Dallas
Buyers Club.
I was going to say Players, but.
I don't know. Anyways, Jesse Valenzuela, guitarist for the Gin Blossoms. Not the Gin Blossoms. They're just called Gin Blossoms. Corrected me on that. I didn't know that.
And you like introduced me to him, I think twice now. And he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, he's super, super nice.
Super down to earth.
He loves not being on tour.
Really?
Yeah. Every time they go on tour, like, it's not like he doesn't have fun doing it. He just...
It's a grind, probably, especially at his age.
It is. And he told me, like, it's really turned up since 2020. Like when they were forced to be not on the road for a while.
I bet you
he realized how nice it was to be at home.
I bet you he doesn't make the money that, because I mean, technically they're not a huge band anymore. And they were on the cusp of being kind of big, but they never broke through to be like huge, but they were popular for a minute there. The Gin Blossoms. Yeah,
I guess. But I mean, when you watch some of the tours that they've been on recently, like I would say that they're touring with people that were sort of at their level.
Yeah, and it makes sense
for sure. They were more popular than Fastball, and they toured with Fastball.
Yeah, and you said they toured with Tonic, which they still tour like crazy.
Yeah, they toured with Toad the Wet Sprocket. I don't know. Out of the two of them, I'm not sure who would be more popular. Toad the Wet Sprocket was pretty popular for a little while.
You think so?
Yeah.
To me, a lot of those are technically one-hit wonder bands. So that to me, that's like... It is.
You shut your goddamn mouth when you're talking to me.
It doesn't mean it's wrong, though.
I mean, it is wrong.
There's plenty of one-hit wonder bands that I love their music and songs that never got popular.
Yeah, but
if you brought it to Toad the Wet Sprocket, you'd be lucky if someone could remember one of their songs. The Gin Blossoms, I wouldn't chalk up to a one-hit wonder because they had 2 or 3 good hits.
Yeah, their hits are easier to name, but just for the sake of the argument, let's find out. Keep talking.
I'm trying to remember Toad the Wet Sprocket's huge hit, and I know you'll say it, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's right."
Yeah, that's my problem right now. Is that
it's not coming to you, right?
Right. All I Want, Walk on the Ocean, Fall Down, Something Is Always Wrong. They had so many hits. Good Intentions.
How many of those were actually on the top 20?
All of the ones that I just said.
Toad the Wet Sprocket?
Yeah.
I must have missed those 3 months of music.
It was 3 years of music. Thank you.
Well, like you could say Fastball was a one-hit wonder.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And not that those bands don't, it just means they just only had one hit. There's tons of bands that actually have lots of good songs, but they only get that one little breakthrough.
Yeah. Well,
or they get pigeonholed with that.
And that was the problem too. In the time that those bands were popular, streaming services didn't exist. Right. So you would have to buy the full album. And if you were anything like some of my friends, you'd buy the full album and still listen to only the songs that were on the radio, which was horribly frustrating to me. That's why I got to be fans of certain bands, because I wouldn't do that. I would listen the whole way through, and I would end up liking songs that didn't ever make the radio. But to me, at the time, that's what made you a real fan, was knowing the songs that nobody else knew.
Yeah.
Because all they did was hear it on the radio and go, yeah, that's what I like.
And I think every decade has that. Like the 80s will have a certain sound will get big, and then you'll have bands that are technically one-hit wonders. But honestly, you would take their album home. This applies to the 90s and 2000s, and literally there'd maybe be 2 good songs on it. And there was a difference between some bands who were like, they would get famous for one song, but they actually put in the work, and they would actually put out an album where you could listen to it all the way through, or at least 80% of it.
Sure.
And that didn't happen with all the bands. So, and I think streaming's killed one-hit wonders. I don't know if you have one-hit wonders anymore. One hit.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's just almost, you have super streamers, like people who get 1 billion streams, like Taylor Swift's and Psy. Remember that guy?
No.
Gundam Style?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so you either have that, or you have the people
who... it's Gangnam Style.
Is it Gangnam or Gangnam?
Well, Gundam is like Robotech.
Yeah, that's anime.
Which I think is what you said first. Just throwing that out there.
I'll change it with I'll tweak it in post and be Gangnam Style. Can't be worse than my
Well, what's
My Street Fighter.
I think what's interesting is like, so streaming has made it so if you hear a song by an artist, you're more trusting to listen to some of their other stuff. But because of streaming, the top 5 songs, when you look them up on a service, are all hits that they've had.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think TikTok has almost brought back the one hit wonder.
A little bit.
Because they make these music acts that aren't famous outside of TikTok famous for that one song that's popular on TikTok.
And when they use older songs, sometimes they don't even realize they're using hit songs. Sometimes that's what blows my mind.
Right.
Sometimes they'll use a hit song. Any of these streamers, have they been stunting anything? Got anything on that?
I mean, streamers are always stunting. I mean, TikTok is an entire community based on stunting.
True. Did you watch that show, The Fall Guy?
No.
They're making a movie of it.
But I did watch the Super Dave Osborne show. Both the show and I think he had a cartoon for a while too.
Yeah, the cartoon. I was trying to remember if he had a show or if he had an official show. He didn't just show up on David Letterman all the time.
I mean, he did that also, but I think he had a live action show.
Probably did.
And then he came back and he was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, but not as Super Dave.
Jared Leto?
No.
Oh.
Super Dave. Bob Einstein, whatever.
So you couldn't even think of a real celebrity that you liked.
Now you're saying Jesse's not a real celebrity?
So he's a musician.
That's a celebrity.
No.
Musicians aren't celebrities?
Some are, but he could walk down the street, nobody know who it is.
That's not true.
Jared Leto walks down the street, he's going to get raped.
What street's he walking down?
Rapeville.
Also, I think you need to stop talking about rape on the podcast.
I'm just current. Right?
Especially
it's edgy. It's edgy.
Especially while we're currently in the middle of Domestic Violence Month.
We'll back that up then. You have any good celebrity stories then?
That was a good celebrity story.
I mean, because your other celebrities, you're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Olsen twins and stuff like that. So those,
they were always shitty people though.
Yeah, those are huge. So
yeah, but who cares?
All right, we'll go with Josh Groban. You met him.
Yeah, no. Donald Faison was nice.
Who's that? Why can't I place the face?
The black doctor from Scrubs.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, and you brought him up before and I totally spaced it on him.
Yeah. The 3 of the big 4 from the New York Yankees when they were still winning World Series. They were nice.
Again, not a star.
What? Tell that to anybody in the city of New York. Yeah, I don't know. I guess most of the famous people I've met are kind of fringe famous people, and the people that were big enough to not be fringe famous people
have all been kind of
what you expect out of actual famous people.
That sucks. Yeah, all right.
I know there are nice ones out there. Like, again, the opportunity to meet, I'm sure Krasinski would be a gentleman and hilarious. Bateman, Paul Rudd, Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
That might be my perfect 4. If I could be friends with any 4 celebrities, it would be those 4.
So I feel like we should end the episode with a stunt. What do you got?
Well, let's just find our nearest 8-story building.
Well, we could do something like right here. Like, so hold this hamster. Let me go get the butter.
Nope.
Oh, all right.
That's not a stunt. That's a sexual deviance.
Okay. So take the thing off the electric socket on the wall and lick the finger. Yeah, we should end this episode with a stunt.
I don't think we should end it with a stunt. I think we did our best Evel Knievel throughout the episode.
We didn't even Evel Knievel this.
Flips, turns, twists.
Well, I get a little bit. Yeah.
I jumped over at least 6 buses to get to some sort of story in that episode.
But I feel like we could have got a lot more dangerous. Right?
All right. Well,
I mean, I didn't even talk about penises or anything.
I know. That's why it was our best episode ever.
Okay. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
Check this out.
That's what it is. Here's a I got an idea. Here's a lighter.
All right.
Okay. So now light yourself on fire.
Hang on. Ooh, it's hot.
Now jump through that hoop that's not on fire.
but I can't reach it. Oh, it's still getting hot.
Yeah, you should jump quicker. You're going to need to put yourself out at some
Maybe
point.
I shouldn't have lit from the bottom up. Right?
Why did you?
And he's dead. We'll be back next week with my third degree burns on the lower part of my hemisphere.
Yeah, that's what happened to your head.
Think
Head hair and it all burned away.
Yep. That's what happens when you're hot. Hot on the mic. Hot Mike. That's my stripper name. Hot Mike.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. So, all right, stunt. Fun word. Glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll follow this up with even better word next time. One where I don't catch fire at the end.
I mean, those are the best kind of words.
For you.
Eventually, we'll get it right.
Okay. No, I don't ever want to get it right. It's better when we're wrong.
You don't want to get it right.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're missing something in this whole execution of the plan.
There's a plan?
Listen, just don't look on Craigslist right now for the in search of section, because somebody might be in search of a co-host.
I knew a Craig.
Depending on whether or not this flame situation works out.
I knew a Craig once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson?
He was an asshole.
Craig Kinnear? Oh, wait, that's Greg.
Yeah, that's Craig. Close enough. Tomato.
I don't think that applies here.
Well, I'm burnt to the crisp, Dan.
And I'm actively seeking co-host Matt.
And when I get out of the ER, we'll be ready to do this again next week.
Ooh, ER, that's a good one. Maybe Noah Wiley should be my next co-host.
You can't even go for Clooney?
That's shooting real big.
No. What's he doing now?
What's he not doing?
I don't know. He's just like living in Greece, like saving the world and stuff like that.
Right.
Being the most handsome bastard ever.
Right, being insanely handsome.
Yeah. Nothing. All right. Find us on all the usual socials and wherever you like to stream podcasts, I guess.
Oh, I'm glad you finished that with podcasts.
Okay.
This podcast almost took a much dirtier direction.
Yeah. Don't Google that.
Don't cross the streams.
You got pee jokes now?
No, that was a Ghostbusters reference.
Sure it is. Until next time. You had to put the fire out somehow.
Wait, did you get stung by a jellyfish? Too late.
You know. I feel like you're splitting hairs there. Tomato.
I don't think you understand what splitting hairs means if you think I'm splitting hairs.
Sure I do. It's when you cut a bunny in half, right?
Oh, dear God. No, that's Hassenpfeffer.
I thought that was spatchcock.
No, that's when you split a chicken in half.
Or a turkey.
Sure.
No, spatchcock is our new band.
No.
Cock spatch?
Also, you didn't even care about my Bugs Bunny reference?
Hey, that's a first for you, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I figured you'd have a bunch of them in the pipe.
I probably do, but I'd have to go way back. Like, I haven't actively watched Looney Tunes since I was like 6.
Me either. But I love that stuff, dude. That because they don't show them hardly anymore because half of them they can't show.
Yeah.
Like me and my wife still quote. It's like one of my favorite things. Have you ever seen the one when he's trying to train a Labrador retriever? I think it's like a hunting episode. And I don't know if he's who is he talking to? Elmer Fudd? I think something like that. And he gets that accent. He always does that. And they're like, but how do you know that dog? How do you know that's a Labrador? And he's all like, you ever seen a Labrador? Like, no. You know what a Labrador?
Seen a Labrador?
And he's all, then shut up. Like, you're like a little kid and you're like, that's freaking hilarious. So we do that all the time. So